Have you ever wondered why we have irrational fears and phobias, why we can hold a gerbil or a hamster but be terrified of a rat? Why some things really make us feel sick and others don't, or why we can eat some things and not others? My name is Marisa Peer. I've been a therapist my entire adult life. I want you to look at this new rule of your mind to understand why we get phobias, why we get fears, and how we can talk ourselves out of it like that. This is one of the rules of the mind that makes so much sense. And once you get it, you apply it to everything. And here it is. The way you feel about everything, and I do mean everything, comes down to just two things. The pictures you make in your head and the words you say to yourself. Your mind responds to the pictures you form and the words you construct, which you are free to change at any time at all. Many years ago, I was flying to Spain to work with a very important client. And I was in line waiting to check in, and I noticed a woman a few people ahead of me was having a very bad time. She was shaking, crying. Her husband was saying, please get on the plane. She said, I can't get on the plane. And then I heard one of the staff say, we've got to get ground staff to take her luggage off the plane. So I knew that was going to be a problem. I was going to be late, but I would have helped her anyway. So I went up and said, hey, could I help you? You know, I help people all the time. What's happening? She went, look at that. And she pointed to the plane. She goes, that's like a flying coffin. And I just can't get on it. And I said, well, that's because, you're calling it a flying coffin. She said, well, I can't fly. I hate flying. I'm terrified of flying. I just can't fly. And so I began to tell her the logical stuff, although here's another rule of the mind. About emotion and logic never, ever wins. So saying it's safe, it's safer than being in a car. But I did say to her, the most dangerous part of flying is the car drive to the airport. You've done the dangerous bit. This is the safest bit. And I told her a story. I said, many years ago, my daughter, I took her to the fun fair. We were on those kind of chairs that swing out, and she didn't like it at all and started screaming and crying, and I couldn't really talk to her. It was so noisy. So I started shouting, I love it, this is amazing. I noticed her looking at me, and then when it finished, she goes, Mummy, did you like that? I said, no, not really, darling, but I wanted to confuse. I was confusing you. And she said, I was very confused because when you said you liked it, I liked it too. Because I was deliberately saying, I love it. It's like a bit like having a needle put in your arm and go, oh, no, it's going to hurt. To go, oh, I love this. It's great. I'm just looking at my phone and I don't even notice it because you're making different pictures. I began to tell her just a little bit about, the way you feel. You've just called the plane a flying coffin, a tube that hurtles through the air with you in it. When you could say, sure, I love flying. I get to sit in a chair, don't have to do any work. I can read a book, look at a movie. Someone's going to bring me food. It's super relaxing. You get to choose. I said, anyway, I'll sit with you. And I promise you, if you sit with me, just like my daughter, we can pretend we're at Disneyland. And as it takes off, we're going to sound excited. I said, the first time I took my daughter on the plane, she went, Mummy, look. She got out of the thing. She said, look, you slide out of the plane. She thought it was so exciting because she was reading the safety card and she really thought we all left the plane on a slide into the sea. She was very disappointed. So I managed to swap seats with our husband. I sat with him. And as the plane took off, we began to say, I love it. It's so exciting. I love it. And she looked at me, she went, wow, why didn't I know this before? I had no idea you could cheat your mind, lie to your mind. But of course you can when you put better pictures in your head. And I've had a phase thinking, I'm a bit bored with flying now. And I remember deliberately sitting on the apron, looking out as it took off, going, I love it. It's so exciting. Because I have a choice. I can choose to talk myself into something terrible or talk myself out of it. So with flying, the pictures you make, that's a flying coffin, as opposed to, wow, I've got 3 hours to read, to eat some food, to watch this movie. Oh, I hope they've got this movie. I've downloaded a movie. I remember coming back from Mexico watching 3 hours of Netflix on my iPad, and I was so excited because I had that time to just watch it all to myself. Nobody was going to disturb me. So when you fill up your mind with good pictures, you can't fill it up with bad because the mind can't go in two lanes. But let's imagine, too, if I held a needle up in front of you right now, the way you feel about that needle comes down to the pictures. If you're a tattoo freak, you go and have a whole sleeve of tattoos. If you like Botox, you go, this is great, I'm going to have some Botox. If you're in pain, you go, oh, yes, please. It's going to take me out. But when I was run over last year, I was waiting for the siren because I knew that as that siren came, the ambulance would come. I knew they put a needle in my arm, and I knew that because it was a lot of pain, because I'd just been run over, it would all go. And when they came, I was so happy to have that needle in my arm. But I could also go, oh no, I hate the dentist. They put a needle in my mouth. It really hurts. So it's not the needle, it's the pictures and words you make, because some people love needles and some people don't. If I had a lump of beef in my hand, you go, oh, yummy, Wagyu beef, I love that. But if you're a vegan or a Hindu, you'd find that really offensive. If you're a bodybuilder, you'd find it joyful. So it's not the thing. It's not the flying, the needle, the piece of meat. It's what the pictures we make about the flying, the needle, and the piece of meat, and the words we make. And the pictures are yours to change. And the words, you imagine you say, I hate exams. My mind goes blank. I don't like people. I'm very bad with confrontation. You could flip that to, I love people. I can talk to anyone. I'm really good in exams because everything I've ever studied is stored in my brain. I've got perfect access. I'm like Google, got a great memory. Doesn't even matter if it's true or not, because your mind will make it true. So go into the comments right now, and I'd love you to help everyone out by looking at some of the pictures you make in your head. Oh, this is hell. This traffic is going to be the death of me. This is a nightmare. What kind of pictures do you make? What kind of words do you say? I was driving my daughter to school and it was raining. I went, oh, it's raining. She went, Mummy, if it didn't rain, all the flowers would die. And I loved that even at her age, kids reframe rain, cold, snow. They love puddles. They jump in them. They go, yay, puddles. So we have to learn to always make better pictures and better words, no matter what. No matter what, and you make better pictures and better words. When you make better pictures and better words, it changes your entire life. You know, I've been stuck at airports, but the last time I was flying, there was a 6-hour delay, but I had my laptop, I had my phone. It was actually fine. I just did a lot of work and it went really quickly. So when you change the pictures and change the words, so you need to make great pictures for good stuff and make very minimal pictures. Oh, I've got this, it doesn't matter, this too will pass. Yes, I'm in traffic, I've got a phone, we'll get through this, I'm in a warm, dry car. Please put in the comments what you've already done to change the pictures and change the words. Or put in what you are going to do. What words are you going to change? What pictures are you going to change? You see, let me just add with one more thing. I could have a butterfly on my hand, or a little ladybird, but not a cockroach, and not a worm. Why is that? They're all insects. Well, the ladybug is pretty. The butterfly is pretty. The moth's going to eat my clothes. So we even make a different picture. We like caterpillars, but we don't really like worms because the picture is completely different. And that's all you have to know. If you're going for a scan, you go, oh, I feel like I'm in a tomb. Or you can go, oh, I feel like I'm lying on a sunbed, having 20 minutes all to myself. You always have the choice. Change the pictures, change the words, and then watch as it changes your entire life for your entire life. So please share this, subscribe below, so you can have more rules of your mind to change your life. Thanks for tuning in. See you next time.